Paul's. This is Katie Denning, and I'm here with my assistant Leah, who's going to help me show you one way that you could set up a prayer space or a worship space at home. So we had decided that we were going to set up some space at home where we could gather our prayers and where we could worship together, but we don't have an extra room in our house. We don't even have an extra corner in our house, especially right now because we had to set up some extra spaces for school for the kids. And so we decided we would set up our prayer space on a tray that we could carry to where we needed it to be. So here's the tray that we chose, just a simple tray that we had in our kitchen. And the first thing that we're going to put on our tray are some purple cloths. So for the season of Lent, we wanted to use the color purple and dress up our tray with any kind of cloth that you have, and if you've got one that's purple, that's fantastic. The next thing that we're going to put on our tray is something special that I've had for a while. That's just a little labyrinth on a little piece of stone that you can trace. So we'll put that on our tray in case somebody wants to pray on their own. The next thing that's going on our tray is a cross. So a reminder that Jesus is central to our lives and central to our prayer. And especially during the season of Lent, it's good to keep the image of the cross before us. The next thing that we wanted to make sure was to have light. Christ is the light of the world, and we have a little battery-operated tea light that we're using. You can also use real candles, especially if there are grown-ups around, to monitor that. We wanted on in our prayer space reminders of our St. Paul's family. So we have a picture of the altar cross, the altar frontal with the cross on it, the thing that was so lovingly made by so many members of our community, as well as a picture of St. Paul's itself. So a reminder that even though we pray at home right now, we're praying together with our church family. And then the last thing that we're putting on our tray for this season is a special Lenten prayer jar and Lenten prayers. This was something we had actually created at the beginning of the month, beginning of March. Leah painted that prayer jar, and there are some special slips of paper in there with some things for us to do, to pray about, to think about, or some things to share together as a family. So this is questions. And some questions to ask each other. So these are all the ways that we can keep our prayer here in one space. We also have a few books that we'll keep nearby. One is the Book of Common Prayer. So if we want to use that for some prayers together, and some Bibles. You can use any kind of a Bible. These are two children's Bibles that I like in particular, the Jesus Storybook Bible, and then the Children of God Storybook Bible edited by Archbishop Desmond Tutu. So those are two that are particularly good for younger kids. And then because I think that one of the many ways that God speaks to us in prayer is through poetry and the words of poetry, we have a book of poetry here too. And if we want to listen to music as part of our prayer, we have a speaker so that we can play some music. So, this is our prayer space, and we hope that you have an opportunity to create your prayer space.
Wait, we haven't done a prayer yet today.
We haven't.
Here's the prayer that we should do.
Okay, you want to read our prayer for today?
Sure. Our prayer for today is make a list of things you are thankful for. Pray and tell God thanks for these items.
Well, I know that I'm very thankful for our faith community and our church community at St. Paul's and for all of you who are watching this.
And I'm thankful that we have a nice home and a lovely prayer space.
Thanks.
And once we're done with this, we put them on this tray.
Wonderful. So you can set up a prayer space in your own home too. And if you want to, you can share it with us.
Oh, and you don't have to do it the same way we did it. You can do it any way you want to.
All right. Thank you very much.